I played 1 week of Paleo Pines. If you don't know yet, Paleo Pines is a cozy simulation game where you befriend cute dinos who will eventually help you around your ranch by watering your crops, tilling the land, clearing debris, and more. By the way, a huge thanks to the devs for giving me a copy of this game early. This video will showcase what you can do during your first few days in the game, so you'll have a better idea of what to expect and maybe help you decide whether to make the purchase. I unlocked the second map within a week, so if you're having trouble finding out what to do next, this video might also help you plan your days. However, just remember, as with all games, there's no right and wrong way to play, so just enjoy the game at your own pace. Without further ado, let's get started. I named myself Myrabels and created my usual character style, and that of course includes my overalls. Do note that there are more clothing options that will be available as you progress in the game compared to what you see right now. The game showed a cute cartoon about Lucky, my dino companion who gradually outgrew our house. I then received an invitation to Paleo Pines, showing other Parasaurolophus. So I set off to this town in hopes that I will find more friends for Lucky. On my first day, I met Mary and Owen, who explained they haven't seen a Parasaurolophus before and they seemed very excited to meet Lucky. They gave me a journal and some herbivore food as welcoming gifts. I placed the food in Lucky's trough before heading off to Viridian Valley. I made sure to not use Lucky's stamina to run, but instead saved it for clearing debris in my farm. This is what I did for almost all the early in-game days. I got my first large dreamstone here near the farm entrance. I also took notes for clover and cranberry on my journal and gathered some before meeting Agami. She gave me a tour of the plaza, told me the path to Dapplewood is blocked, and introduced me to Marlo, who gave me the tools I needed for my farm: a hoe, a shovel, and a watering can. Granny also gave me 10 carrot seeds. As advised, I bought 10 herbivore food from Corland, the general store owner, then accepted all the quests from the bulletin board because, well, why not? Marlo accompanied me back to my farm where he taught me how to build a pen using fence posts and a gate. Building in this game takes a little getting used to, but I don't mind it because I like having the option to edit things from a top-down view. I placed all the additional food in Lucky's trough before asking him to help me clear the debris near a small pond. I completely forgot to plant my crops this day, but you can plant the carrots on this day if you'd like. I used the rest of the time exploring Viridian Valley, where I found 3 more large dreamstones and 1 small dreamstone. I also logged the following items in my journal: the Pebble Bridge, which is considered a historic place, some artifacts named Mysterious Statue Fragment and Ancient Tablet Fragment, and a natural feature called Crystal Quartz. Before the day ended, I discovered Dandelion and Tama Bloom. The next day, Lucky found my lost flute. I wonder how it turned up there. Granny came by to give me additional 10 carrots and make sure I knew how to farm. I planted all 20 carrot seeds from her and 3 more spring onions, which I honestly have no idea how I got. Next, Marie taught me how to befriend my first dino by copying its dino tune with my flute, giving it a treat or soothing it, and giving it a poppin'. I successfully befriended my second dino, a Gallimimus, which I named Crunchy Water. This gave me the Steam achievement They Won't Bite. From Mary's tips, I got the hint that I needed to befriend a Styracosaurus to remove the obstacle to Dapplewood. I then went back to town where I met Pippin, who sells the poppins. This gave me another achievement, Howdy Rancher. After that, I went around completing simple gathering materials quests, which got me some rope fences, blueberry, carrot seeds, and 35 shells. I went back to Marie hoping for more information, but she just asked me what's Lucky's favorite food. She seems to be testing my bond with him, but we all know Lucky's favorite food are mushrooms, right? I went back home to place a large dreamstone for Crunchy Water and introduced her to her new home. Afterwards, I discovered a pear tree then approached a peach-colored Styracosaurus. I was able to get its friendship meter to green, but she didn't want my crunchy poppin. I went back to Pippin to complain and ask for a new flavor. He was hesitant but gave in as long as I gave him some carrots. I couldn't wait for my carrots to grow, so I just bought one from Corlan and gave it to Pippin, who finally made some juicy poppin, giving me the new flavor "Who Dis" achievement. I made sure to get all quests from the bulletin board again and noted to keep on doing this in the future before going back to my Styra. She finally became my friend and I named her Impactor since she can break boulders. I added a large dreamstone for Impactor and expanded the pen since it was starting to get crowded. I gave Impactor and Lucky a cranberry since they like juicy foods. Unfortunately, I didn't have any crunchy food for crunchy water. Before I went to bed, I planted my 4 carrot seeds. I ran out of stamina, but I just continued planting everything. The only penalty I got is falling after a single action, which was annoying, but I managed to complete my task. Day 3, in order to increase my dinos' affection, I made sure to take care of their needs every day by making sure they have enough food, petting them, playing their favorite dino tunes, giving them their preferred treats, and making sure their pens are clean. This day, I gave a juicy clover to Lucky and Impactor and discovered that it was Lucky's favorite food. Owen also explains this and told me that the dino's heart shows how much they trust me and the circle around it shows how happy they are at the moment. The happier they are, the more they will trust me each day. I made sure to tend to my crops before heading to town to accept and complete quests. Corlan gave me 50 carnivore food in exchange for dandelions and clovers. Then, I accepted the quest from Pippin to give him my homegrown onions for his poppins. I do find it a little bit weird that those treats have onions. I also exchanged fiber for blueberries and bought 4 spring onion seeds and 3 potato seeds. Then, I stared at the bulletin board a bit more and met a girl who was apparently on beast mode and just pushed me around. Rude. I didn't want to fight, so I just went home to plant and water my additional seeds. I got another clay fragment on the way to Owen's house. It seemed that he was calling me out as he mentioned that sometimes he can get stuck just making plans and nothing more. He gave me a mango as a treat, then directed me to Granny to find more information about pterosaurs. He also asked me to bring him 5 small stones he could use as a paperweight, and I was able to deliver his hat from Marlowe. After that, I went to Bongo's pen to find Granny's lost notebook from a quest, but just discovered more clay fragments. It was windy on day 4, and the weather blew some spring onion seeds into my farm, which I planted to my ever-growing garden and became convinced that I needed juicy water to become a helper soon. Just look at how much I need to water by now. While taking care of my dinos, I noticed someone pooped in their pen and I had to scoop it up with my shovel, giving me the "Do I have to?" achievement. I got 175 shells from Marlowe from completing the hat delivery and noted that the quests that day gave good rewards. 2 crunchy poppins and a saddle. As Owen suggested, I asked Agami about pterosaurs, who told me there might be some hints around her house in Dapplewood. I also fetched the lucky trinket that I was supposed to give to Corlan. Corlan was right there, but for some reason, I went to Pippin, fetched the hat I need to give to Owen, and bought a crunchy poppin, completely forgetting about the quest reward already. After realizing my mistake, I sadly went to Corlan and, as expected, got more crunchy poppin from the quest completion. I was looking for Owen, but I found Bongo instead, so I gave him a pet and tried to ask him if he ate Granny's lost notebook. Eventually, I found Owen, completed the paperweight quest, and delivered his hat to him. I then realized that I've never seen the blockage to Dapplewood yet. I looked for the blockage just to confirm that it was a boulder and not another type of obstacle. Afterwards, I found a Postosuchus. I like its color, so I checked their rarity. I repeatedly suited them after calling their attention, which made them bored and eventually sleep. Once asleep, I examined them using my journal, confirming that the color orchid is rare. So I decided to try and befriend it. Thankfully, they liked Juicy Poppins, and I was able to make them follow me, named as Juicy Orchid. I looked longingly at some Ankylosaurus behind the boulder and decided I was going to try and get the ultra-rare black color with green eyes variation of it. Afterwards, I found an ultra-rare proud pansy Corythosaurus. They liked my cranberries, so it got my hopes up, but to my huge disappointment, they didn't like my Juicy Poppin. It turns out this dino likes the fragrant Poppin. Thanks, game, for showing me an ultra-rare dino and not letting me have the treat needed for it yet. Now, our new friend, Juicy Orchid, is a carnivore, so I couldn't place them near my herbivores. I just left them roaming around my farm and hoped it wouldn't run away. Crunchy Water officially became my helper on day 5, which gave me the Saddle Up achievement. I immediately put a saddle on her and had her help me water my crops, which was annoyingly ready for harvest anyway. I was able to harvest more than 100 carrots. I decided to keep 10, and I honestly should have kept more, since it was my only easy source for crunchy treat at that moment. Thankfully, Orchid was still in my farm, so I bribed them with a cranberry to convince them to keep staying. In another attempt to get Impactor's happiness level up, I transformed her pen into a large valley sleeping patch, which transformed their whole pen into a valley biome with these cute little flowers on the ground. With the carrots harvested earlier, I completed my quest with Agami, who gave me potato seeds in return. The rest sold for more than 400 shells. I used this money to buy fences, a gate, and a small trough from Marlon for my first carnivore. With Lucky's help, I was able to clear an area on my farm to put a new pen for Orchid. I will need to wait another day until I can get a trough for their food, but I just hope the fences were enough to prevent them from eating my other dinos if they go hungry. I planted the potato seeds, then went out to study a sleeping Gallimimus for a quest. Just look how wacky they look while asleep though. After that, I discovered Silophysis, another carnivore with a rare turquoise color. They liked cranberries, but I didn't have a juicy or fragrant poppin at that time to befriend them. On the way home, I saw a dreamstone in a small island in the middle of the river. This got me excited on the possibility of finding dinos that can swim. It was raining the next day, so Juicy Water got a day off. My small trough arrived and I put it inside Orchid's pen. I went to Marie to collect my 235 shells from Gali Research. She also asked me to deliver lunch for Owen, which is just 4 pieces of bell pepper. Concerned about Owen's health, I decided to just pay attention to another quest where I found and returned Mary's lost hat for some medium valley flowers decoration. Later, I encountered my second ultra-rare dino. I've been blessed by the RNG gods this time since I happen to have a crunchy poppin in my inventory, which was exactly what this Saturday Psittacosaurus wanted. Of course, I named them Crunchy Saturday. You'll really need to help me come up with better names. Anyway, this gave me 2 achievements. I am small and OMG RNG. In town, I got a quest from Magami asking for ingredients for a stew. I also met Orani, a tailor who can help me change my style and get new clothes. After that, I discovered Herb, which probably only appears during rainy weather. Then, found a small dreamstone just behind this rock, which I missed during my first hunt for dreamstones. I bought 10 carrot seeds from Granny, sold 20 cranberries to Corlin, then bought 3 juicy poppins to get more dinos. These actions left me with only 95 shells though, and I was too broke to afford a wooden gate for a new pen for my rare dino. Questioning my decisions, I found my inner peace by planting my crops and eventually just decided to expand my existing pen for herbivores. I made sure to add the small dreamstone for Saturday. Some of my dinos aren't too happy about the increasing crowd though. I put medium flowers as decoration in a meager attempt to suit them. On day 7, Impactor became my helper at last. I immediately put a saddle on her, ignored all my other usual daily chores, and went straight to the boulders blocking the path to Dapplewood. I got the Run Forest Run achievement from this. Run Forest Run! Agami and Marlo were both pretty happy to go back home, but they couldn't beat my excitement of finally being able to unlock a new area and seeing more dinosaurs. Well, going back home after being stranded might come close to that feeling, but yeah. I got started on my journey to Dapplewood. I just enjoyed watching Impactor run around this lush green area for a bit, enjoying the new scenery and ambience before I started discovering and gathering new materials. I discovered gooseberry and mushroom. I then found 2 stegosaurus. I knew I was too broke to add more dinos on my farm for now, so I just logged the dinos in my journal and hoped I won't encounter an ultra rare dino just yet. I also found a megalosaurus who wanted to be close to me. I thought they just wanted to match my dino headband I wore on stream, but later found out that they are carnivorous and might have just been trying to eat me. I found a large dream zone while wandering around, but my inventory was already full. I met a few more dinos like this Kentrosaurus, these really cute small Troodons, and this adorable Centrosaurus who seemed to want to roam around Viridian Valley too. Additionally, I found this adorable Sunday color Styra who is extremely shy and kept hiding behind the bushes. Once I was back home, I caught up with my chores. I made Impactor totally happy, which gave me this achievement called I Love You. I then asked for her help on tilling the ground, while Waters helped me, well, water. Before the day ended, I got another achievement, crop rotation, for planting onions on soft soil without using any fertilizer. I also ran around with my dinos, ensuring their staminas are depleted so that they will level up faster. That's the end of our 1 week. What is your favorite dino so far? Let me know in the comment section. We only managed to see some parts of Dapplewood, and there are more dinos and areas to explore. There will also be a change in season, some events, and more story progression waiting in the next few days. With that said, I am enjoying this game a lot and highly recommend it for people who like cute dinos and simulation games. This game releases on September 26 on Steam, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch. I'm planning to make a video for the entire first month of the game, so if you're interested in watching that, do leave a like and hit subscribe. I also make content about Stardew Valley and other cozy farming simulation games. Thank you for watching!